Hello, guys. You are welcome to this series. In this series, I will be taking us through how to build a web app. The web app I'm building is a chat web app, just like you have in WhatsApp. This WhatsApp app is going to be of the kind that is going to be a group chat. So you are going to be building what we call a group chat. You can call it a forum where people can communicate with one another. So once you log into this app, let me just take us around it. If you log into this app, all you need to do is to type your name, type your name, then you create it. We're going to call this one, let's just call it full stack. Not full stack, let's call it chat. I just call it this name. Okay, front end. Because I already have full stack and I want to create something plain. So if you enter your name and then the room name. This room name, everybody in that room must use the same name, the same name. I told you this is a modular system. I'm just building something simple for the sake of this training. I already have this one in a major project, so we're just showing us how to deploy a chart in our project. So I'm going to join the room. You will see that I'm in front end room now. And no chat, nobody send message here. So we're going to go to I'm going to open it in another browser again. So I'm going to be opening it in another browser. So you can see I have it in another browser now. So here I'm going to type Phytotech. I think what is the name here? This Phytotech. So the room is front end. So join the room. Okay, so Victor and Phytotech has joined the room now. So what we do now is to say hello there. So press enter. So you can see that it's saying Phytotech hello there. That's I'm the sender. Every message I send as the sender will be at the right hand. Let's see if we can go to the first user. Let's go to the first user. Now, in the first user, you can see that the message Phytotech sent is already here. Hello there. So let me, I, I am fine. Okay, let's go there. I can see it's already also there. It's real time. It's real time. That is the beauty of this project. It's real time. As he's sending it, is delivered immediately. That's what we are building. We are building a real app where user can communicate with one another. So at the end of this project, you should be able to know the basics. Let me just mention things we're going to be using in this project. We're going to be using Django. Django is a Python framework that we use to build website. Django is very good in building backend. So this is a backend project. And then we're going to be using HTML, JavaScript, and CSS for the front end. So the front end is what you are seeing. All this the front end, this interface you are seeing now is the front end. I use HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, Bootstrap in some cases to build this. So those are the things we are going to use. Then the synchronization of the message in real time. I'm going to be using an app. I'm going to be using a company, an interface. That's a kind of synchronization project company. We call it Agora. So I'm going to be using Agora SDK for the communication. We can use Agora for video calling, just as you have in Zoom, as you have uh, in Meet, Google Meet, and the rest. We can use Agora to do it also in our Django project. So I'm going to be using Agora for this. You can do it using channels, what we call Django channel to do it. But in this case, we are using Agora. So let's move on and see what we'll be doing. So what I'm going to do now is to create a folder. I'm going to create a folder. So I'm going to create a folder. I already have the folder created, but I will just navigate there. So in your case, you are going to create a new folder. I'm going to create a new folder. I think I call the folder project. I call it project video. Yes, then inside project video, I create live chat. Live chat. That's what I have inside the project video. So this project video, this live chat will be what I'm going to be building. So what we do now is to go to the Visual Studio Code. So I'm going to go to Visual Studio Code. That's the interface we are going to be using for our building, the code we are building. So in the Visual Studio Code, I'm creating a new window. I'll just open a new window down. So in it, I'm going to open this project. You can see that I already opened the project. So once the project is open, I'm going to start building gradually. The first thing I'm going to build is to build what we is to the first thing I'm going to do rather is to create what we call virtual environment. Virtual environment is very good in your project. You are going to be knowing that as you proceed on, or if you join our full stack class. So creating a virtual environment is very good because it's going to confine everything you are building inside that folder instead of installing everything on your system, and then that can now conflict with other projects in the nearest future or the one you've done before. So it's better you create a virtual environment. To do that, we're going to open our terminal. So I'm opening the new terminal now. This is Visual Studio Code. This is what I'm using. I like using it a lot. So the next thing now is to create the virtual environment. There are different ways of creating virtual environment, but in Windows, we can use Python. You can just use Python dash M. So like this now, then the name of the project. So if you have, let's say, sorry, sorry, that's the name. Let's say I call this one yen. The name of the folder I'm creating will be yen. So let's just call it C since I'm creating chart. So CEMV. So you press enter and wait. You can see that the folder is created already. You can see it here. It's still actually processing it. So it's going to take some seconds. So let's wait for it. Going to take few. So as that one is going on now, once it's done, we're going to activate it. Once it's done, we're going to activate it. So just let's wait. Just wait for it. See done now. Okay, it's done. So the next thing to do is to activate the virtual environment. To activate the virtual environment, we actually use this code, this command prompt. So you are going to type the name of the virtual environment. In our case, is CEMV. So slash script. The script starts with capital letter, so it's going to be slash script slash activate. Once you type this, you press enter. You see what happened now? At the beginning of this code, of this prompt, you will see that we now have in green bracket CMV. What is this one telling us? What it's saying is that everything you are doing from henceforth will be saved inside this folder. That means it's an environment on your computer that you've created for this project. So everything we will be doing will be inside this virtual environment. But mind you, always remember anytime you open your Visual Studio Code to start, always remember to activate it. Else, your work, your code will not work. So now it's activated. The next thing we're going to be doing now is to install Django. Is to install what? Django. So now we're going to have pip install Django. See the command I use, pip install Django. So you're going to take Django will be installed from the internet. So once you are doing this, your network must be connected. Please remember that anytime you are doing this, you must be connected to the internet. So Django is installing now. Once it's done, that one is done, we're going to create a project. We're going to create the project. The installation is still on. Okay, done. You see that after it's successful, you can see that it's telling us that the pip, we use pip to install Django, and we're going to be using pip a lot to install other packages in our project. But it's telling us that the version of the pip that comes with this Python I'm using is 24.0, and the latest version is 24.2. Now to update it, it's already telling you the code. It has given you the prompt to use. So we copy this prompt, and just all you need to do is to paste it. Then we want to update now. So the update is also on. Make sure you are connected to internet also. It successfully removed the old version, which is 24.0. 24.0 is uninstalled, then 24.2 is installed. Now we have Django installed. You will see that everything we've done is installed inside this folder. So the next thing we're going to do now is to create a Django project. A Django project. So now what I will do is to create the project. So I'm going to have Django. So go to create a Django project. Start, sorry, project retime. I'm going to call it retime. So you can see that it's created. But I'm not going to use this, but I intentionally do it to show you something. There are different ways of creating this project. If I create it like this, I'm going to have double folder, retime. That retime will be two folders. The first one and the internal one. I don't want it that way. It's okay for you to do it that way. Maybe in our next video, we can do that one. But the one I like doing is the one that I have just one folder. I don't want to have multiple folder. I don't want to complicate things for myself. So I'm going to delete this project I just created now. So is deleted. So I'm going to create the project. It's still the same command, but there's something I'm going to do. After the Django admin, there you can see Django dash admin, start project, space, retime, then space, then period. That's full stop. Space, full stop. Once I put that, you will see the difference now. You will see that the read time is created. But in this case time around, only one folder. So I don't want to have multiple folder for my project. Now I have Django installed. Django is installed. The next thing we're going to do now after installing the Django is to create a is to create an app. Now, let me explain something to you. I know some of you are new, but those of you that are already in our full stack class, you will enjoy this because we are going to be taking you through what each of these things we are using entails. So we're going to Django. The beauty of Django is that it's a modular app. It creates your project in modular form. That means you can segment your project. It's not just a broader project that will be complex or complicated at the end. So what we do is that after you create the project, inside the project, you can have multiple apps. Just one project, mind you, but multiple apps inside the project. So the app in this case are section of your project. Let me just say it like that in layman like language. So the next thing to do now, you will see that we have what we call manage.py. Very important in Django. So I'm going to create an app that I'm going to call chart, re-chart. Let me just call it chart. So I will say Python. If you're on Windows, you can just type Python. If you're on, what do we call it? If you're on other, let's say Mac, you can also use Python, or but on Windows you can use Python or just Py. But in this case I'm using Python, so I'm going to say Python manage.py. That means I'm referring to this file. So manage.py, because all the command we'll be using, they're inside that file. Now I will now say start. Please don't forget, start app. The first one was Django dash admin start project dash return. This time around now is now Python dash space manage.py space start app space the name of my app. So I'm going to call it chat. You will see that this folder is created. That is the app, and that's where major part of our project will be handled. So the app is created. So in the next class now, in the next series, I'm going to be dealing with other part of the project. So let me just open the app. Inside the app, we have the init.py, the init.py. This is what is very important because it lets Python know that this is a module. Yes, I think I still remember it's a module. And that means they work together. Everything in this folder, they have relationship. Now, you now have admin.py. This handle what you will see when you log into the admin dashboard inside for this app. Then you have the app. Oftentimes we don't do much here, but sometimes you will have something to do there, but not always. Then you have models, very important. Model handle the database. Anything we do inside model is what we want to be saved inside the database of our project. The next thing we have is what? Test. Test. We don't often use that. Then we have view. View is what happens, how your project is displayed to the front end. How your project is displayed. Two other things are missing here, which is the URLs and forms. We're going to be addressing each of them as we move on. Where we start will be with model. So in the next video, I'm going to be creating the model for this project. So please stay tuned.